Okay, so we're diving into a recent Lakers game,
Yeah.
Monday night,
Yeah.
against the Houston Rockets,
Right.
April 1st, 2025.
Yep.
We're going to explore some interesting comments from Lakers star Luka Dončić
Yeah.
about one of his teammates.
Yeah, we dug into this Yardbarker article, originally on Athlon Sports,
Right.
to bring you some of the interesting bits from this Lakers victory.
Yeah.
And what it tells us about their playoff push.
Totally. And your mission, should you choose to accept it,
Yeah.
is to really understand what Dončić is getting at here.
Yeah.
What do his words tell us about the team chemistry
Right.
and their mindset as the postseason approaches?
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get into it.
So the Lakers took the win 104-98 over the Rockets.
Yeah,
A big win considering where they are in the Western Conference.
for sure.
Luka Dončić had a solid game.
Yeah.
20 points, 9 assists to 6 rebounds,
Mhm.
and 2 steals.
Uh-huh.
And he's coming off a huge month,
Right.
scoring-wise. He actually broke a franchise record with 64 three-pointers in March.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's been on fire lately.
Right. Those are the surface level numbers.
Right.
But what really stood out to us in this article
Yeah.
was the surprisingly strong offense from the bench.
Absolutely.
Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent
Mhm.
both dropped 20 points each.
Yep.
And this is the interesting part. They're the first pair of Lakers reserves ever
Wow.
to each hit 6 three-pointers in the same game.
That's impressive.
Some serious firepower off the bench.
Right. It's not just the 20 points each.
Yeah.
It's how many threes they were taking.
Right.
They took 24 of the team's 46 three-point attempts.
Yeah.
So that tells you something about their strategy.
Right.
They were really spreading the floor, creating opportunities.
Absolutely. And that's the context for Luka Dončić's comments about Dorian Finney-Smith after the game.
Yes.
He said, quote, "He's a great player.
Right.
Those players you need on a team."
Uh,
He never complains. If he plays 48 minutes, if he plays 0,
right.
he's never going to say a thing.
Yeah.
He's a fighter, man.
Yeah.
I've always loved him, always loved how he plays.
Yep.
And just happy to be reunited with him.
Wow.
So there you have it.
Yeah, let's break that down.
Okay.
When he says Finney-Smith is a great player,
Yeah.
that's like the bare minimum, right?
Right.
But then he says those players you need on a team.
Yes.
He's not just talking about skill.
Right.
He's talking about something more important.
Right. Exactly.
And the article points out the next part.
Yeah.
He never complains if he plays 48 minutes, if he plays 0. He's never going to say a thing. That says a lot about his mentality.
Totally. You've got a guy who puts the team first,
Yeah,
no ego,
Right.
willing to do whatever is needed.
exactly.
Do you think that kind of attitude, while good, could also mean a player isn't assertive enough?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, what if they see something that isn't working?
Yeah, it's true. You need players who can speak up, but it's a balance.
Yeah.
In a team with strong leadership,
Mm-hmm.
a player who trusts the system
Yeah.
and adapts without questioning everything,
Right.
that can be really valuable,
Yeah.
especially in the playoffs.
For sure.
When things get intense,
Mm-hmm.
Dončić seems to value that stability,
Right.
that trust in Finney-Smith.
Uh-huh.
And he calls him a fighter.
Yeah.
So he's not just passive.
Right.
He's got that competitive edge.
Totally. And those qualities aren't always flashy,
Yeah,
but they're often what makes a team successful.
absolutely.
And then Dončić adds that personal touch.
Right.
Always loved him. Always loved how he plays. Happy to be reunited.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's some history there.
More than just teammates.
Right.
And that's true.
Yeah.
This is actually their 6th season playing together.
Wow.
That's a lot of shared experience.
Yeah.
They know each other's game inside and out.
For sure.
Their strengths,
Right.
their tendencies, even their nonverbal communication.
Right.
That kind of connection can be a huge advantage.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's something I found interesting in the article.
Yeah.
Obviously, the trade for Luka Dončić.
Right.
Everyone remembers that.
Huge move for the Lakers.
Changed the franchise.
Sure.
But the article says getting Dorian Finney-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets
Yeah.
was an extremely underrated move. Interesting.
What do you think? Why is that?
Well, I think it highlights something important about building a winning team.
Okay.
It's not just about the superstars.
Yeah.
It's about the pieces around them,
Yeah.
the role players,
Mhm.
the guys who complement the stars.
Yeah.
Those moves don't always get the attention,
Right.
but they can be crucial.
For sure.
Finney-Smith seems to be a perfect example.
Totally. And the article says he's key to their small ball defense
Mm-hmm.
and their ability to spread the floor,
Mm-hmm.
like with those 6 three-pointers against the Rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who want the quick takeaway,
Yes.
this is why that trade was so valuable.
It wasn't just adding another player. It was adding a player with a specific skill set
Right.
that the team needed
Yeah,
that makes them more versatile.
absolutely. It brings up the question of balance.
Yeah.
How do you balance star power
Right.
with role players who excel in specific roles?
It's a tough question.
Yeah,
But Dončić clearly values Finney-Smith,
for sure.
the skill and the attitude.
Right, and all of this is happening as the Lakers are pushing for the playoffs.
Exactly.
7 games left in the regular season.
Yeah.
They're only 2.5 games behind the Rockets
Right.
for the 2nd seed in the West. So every game counts.
Absolutely.
And they have a rematch with the Rockets coming up,
Yeah.
April 11th.
Huge game.
That game will decide the tiebreaker
Right.
for the playoffs. So the stakes are high,
For sure.
and every player matters.
From the stars to the role players,
Exactly.
like Finney-Smith and Vincent.
Right, so to sum it all up,
Yeah.
Luka Dončić's praise for Dorian Finney-Smith, it's more than just being nice.
Right.
It shows how important those players are.
Absolutely.
The ones who put the team first.
Yeah.
And bring those essential skills.
Especially when you're aiming for a championship.
Exactly. Finney-Smith's stats might not always be eye-popping,
All right.
but his impact is huge.
Dončić knows it.
Yeah. And that brings us to something for you to think about.
Okay.
We're always focused on the stars, the big scorers. But what about the players who don't get the spotlight?
Right. The ones working behind the scenes.
Exactly.
The glue guys.
Yeah, the ones who hold the team together.
Those players are vital.
Absolutely.
They make a huge difference.
Think about their impact on the team's chemistry.
Yeah.
Their ability to handle the ups and downs,
Yeah.
the long season, and the playoffs. It's something to consider.
Absolutely food for thought.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us
My pleasure.
for this deep dive.
Yeah, this was fun.
Catch you next time.
See you then.